Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I hope everyone's doing great today. It is still hot, but not as hot it was 3 or 4 days ago. I'm kind of happy for that, Tonight, hey, Kurt, hey, Sydney, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you an hour on Sunday nights and on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. And I'm going to keep the announcements kind of short today because I'm getting close to running out of Raw Fear episodes. But tonight is going to be a special night. I would advise you to turn your noise up a little bit, because it is kind of low, but also you might need to bring some tissues with you, Kleenexes. Okay. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Crit? Good to see you. But I highly advise you to bring some, hey, Max. Thank you, buddy. You're gonna need tissues tonight, because this is a private residence that we filmed, and it hit home for all of us on this show. So without further ado, Raw Fear, episode 4 at Matt Dugan's house. Enjoy.
This week on Raw Fear, come with us to Matt Dugan's house, one of our own investigators, to see if we can give closure and peace of mind to Matt and his family.
Hey, Mark.
Now, this is our first time doing a private residence, which means it's going to be totally brutally emotional tonight. All right. Especially for Matt. Okay. When we go there, we need to seriously have consideration for Matt and his family tonight. Okay. He does get emotional, and it's going to be pretty hard on him. And I would not be surprised if it affected some of you all too. All right. Because we are going to be doing a lot with the K2s and EMS and talking to his dad. If it's something that you cannot handle emotionally wise, then go to another part of the house. Okay. What you need to do, like, see, when you go into this residence, you gotta take the K2 and whatever room that you're in, you take a base reading of it.
Scan it out.
Yeah, you take the base reading. And even though maybe he has some old wiring and that K2's up at the yellow, you can still use that,
Yeah.
but only take the response after the yellow.
Like I said, everybody, please have some Kleenexes with you.
Here we are at my house. Last year, I lost my dad to cancer. Very tragically. He went pretty quickly once he found out that he had terminal cancer. And we are going to try to see if he's still around and also who else is around, because there have been some crazy things that have been happening in the house over the past few months. And in fact, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of when he died. So this may be a little emotional.
This thing's going off, Marty.
Really?
It was, yeah. See, there it goes.
Dad, are you with us?
Mr. Dugan, would you like to come over and shake my hand?
One flash for yes, 2 for no.
I know you always gave good handshakes, Dad. It's going off before.
Hey,
Did you just
Michelle.
jump in?
Aunt Marilyn, are you with us? Grandma Dugan? Grandma? Hey there.
Did I just make that go off?
No, it just went off.
It just beeped.
Just by itself?
Mm-hmm.
If
Okay.
you're here right now, can you come up to this thing in my hand and touch it? Right in my right hand.
Is there anybody with the letter B in this room?
Why am I picking up the name Beatrice? That was even before you said the letter B.
I don't even know a Beatrice, unless of course it's some great aunt from Oxford, England. Some aunt that
Oh, look how young I
that
look,
didn't know.
guys. Oh my goodness. No white beard. I got
You
hair.
lived here
Uh-huh.
before.
Were you part of the land?
Maybe an original owner of the house.
Do you know the name of the original? There you go. There it
That's
goes.
what I'm
Caught
feeling.
that.
Yep,
Original owner.
the original owner.
That's his.
So here we are in my game room. I'm actually sitting. Let's sit up straight here for you. I'm sitting in my dad's chair. This is where my dad spent a lot of time reading astronomy magazines, and this was
Funny
his
dog.
place. I mean, his fireplace where he would smoke his stogie, well not stogie, cigarette, and that couch. My dad never really sat on the couch at all. But yeah, that's a painting of my dad. And honestly, this weekend, my dad was hanging up back there before. But I told my mom, you should move right in the middle and have the 2 angels on the side. Because that's just, he deserves to be on the fireplace because this was his room. And she started to come over. And he looked at the both of us and looked up. And took his last breath slowly. And that was it. And just, peace filled the room.
These are the girls in Matt's house
Oh.
making tea.
I'm
Making-
dancing.
The girls making tea at Matt's house.
You're allowed to have
tea you
fun. You are allowed to have
Get happy.
fun
Get happy.
on
Gonna
investigation.
tease
Because I
that.
need an attitude adjustment. Yeah.
Let me smell the smart tea. That smells pretty
Blackberry.
smart. I like the smart tea better.
Burning.
It's just the coil on there.
This time on Raw Fear, we burn Matt's house down.
We burnt tea.
Doesn't get much more raw than that.
It's about 9 o'clock at night here, and we're standing at the manger. This was my dad's favorite thing every single year, and putting up the baby Jesus, Mary, Joseph, Shepherd, the angel, and the 3 wise kings or men, and this was his deal every year, and I didn't put it up this year. My mom did. I think it's just too hard for me, and the fact that I am kind of lazy, but that's neither here nor there. If there's anyone with us, just give us a sign. Any type of sign.
Now, when you do this, Matt, okay, you need to relax.
Sorry, I'm just nervous.
I know you are, and that's okay. You're human, so you need to relax. There's your one son.
I was a senior in high school, the time when I needed him most. He lost his job at the steel mill back when my sister was a senior in high school. And he lost...
What's the age difference between you and your sister?
12 years.
12 years.
And he lost his life when I was a senior in high school, so... And I'll never forget the day he died. I remember... It was actually back on the back porch, and I'll show you in a little bit. But I remember looking up, and I knew it. I knew he was going to die. But when you're 17, you expect your dad to be with you when you're going to get married or when not. But I guess it was his time to go. It happens like that. And
I'll share a story with you about my dad. My dad died in '86, and I wasn't married yet, and he wasn't here for my wedding. He wasn't there for the birth of my son, his grandson. He killed me. I was 26? No, 20. I was 26 when I got married, 28 when I had my boy. And, in my experience, Matt, especially with my son, your dad doesn't leave, okay? He don't leave at all. He's hanging around. In fact, you have to look at it like this, too. He's happy because he's not hurting. You have to think about it like that. That's the way I look at it.
he was really hurting when he died.
My dad had lung cancer, and it spread all through his body. And my dad was a vegetable, went from 190 down to like 86 pounds. And what happened was, and I know he's happy now. And so, to me, death, okay, when somebody dies at somebody's close, death was more of a rebirth than it is somebody going away.
Tammy and Company Salon. For over 10
due to the fact that a lot of bodies were stored in there during the battle. Kind of sad, don't you think? If you're ever in Gettysburg, I dare you to stay here. Happy hunting.
Mr. Dugan, can you please come over here and touch my hand? There is nothing to be afraid of.
Don't worry about Sean.
I'm not going to cross you. You can trust me. Your son, Matt, is a very good friend of mine. And we are here to help him. We are here to help him understand where you're at and what you're all about and what's going on.
I'm not gonna. I can promise you this: Sean is not going to cross you over. I've already told him not to. And if you could just let me know that you're all right, because I've been worrying about you. If you could just give me a sign. I know you'd always said that you'd haunt me when you die.
Lower your voice a little bit,
because they can hear you in the next valley.
Sorry, I do echo. But I love you. If you could just please just give us a sign that you're here, please.
He's not ready to answer you yet because he knows the type of what you're in now. You're in that mode where he doesn't really want to upset you as much as you are right now.
Yeah, but he's not going to upset me. It'll just put me at ease.
No, it will put him at ease, but he knows you. Okay, right now, seriously, you need to relax a little bit. He's right here. You can touch my arm. You can feel his energy. Just feel his energy. Okay? But he don't want to overdo it to you.
Is there anybody else here?
Not there.
What?
No one will come in here.
Why?
Because they're Native Americans.
Really?
Yeah. Your whole back is all full of Native Americans back here.
He lived out in the country, everybody. Surrounded by woods.
Just watching.
Do you think spirits have a message to tell you?
It depends.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it
some do
depends.
and some don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
It
they're
depends
all,
on the
they're
way
all
we
still there
dance.
for a reason.
Okay.
You just have to figure out what the reason
See, I was
is.
telling Matt, hold on, I was telling Matt when I was over there.
There's the people that are just there.
My coworker
Right.
went on vacation. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And she told her newspaper lady to drop her newspaper off on the porch. And she came back from vacation earlier that day, and her newspaper was on the porch. So she went and go ask the mayor lady, where's my newspaper? She said that a lady was coming, was answering the door or whatever, and taking her newspaper. And my coworker asked the mail lady to give a description, and the mail lady did. It was her mother. So she went inside. and
All the papers were in the house?
Yeah, they're on the paper.
No way.
And her
She
mom's
told me.
dead.
And her mom's dead over 4
Can we
years.
investigate the house?
Yeah,
That's
you can.
amazing.
It's in Butler County.
I don't care. We'll go.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I feel as though if somebody dies with something important unsaid, or if they die a tragic death, then they're going to want to stick around for closure.
Yes, they are.
Specifically for closure. Like, there's this one house, it was up in, I forget, it was like, was it Gettysburg? No. It was a really famous house, I forget the name of it, it starts with an A, and it's in like some weird state, but I guess there was this lady, and like years and years ago, she killed herself on Christmas night, and they never knew why she killed herself, you know, she was always like real happy and everything. Years later, people wanted to buy the house, like they're really interested in the house. So they buy the house, and you know, they live there for a while, and this guy says, you know, one morning I just woke up out of bed, and I had this urge to go up in the attic. So he walks up into the attic, and he sees like this piece of wood, and he lifts it up, and there's no, and there's
All
a bag,
the letters.
all these letters.
Oh, the
that
love
were
letters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
we
love
saw
letters.
that. Yeah. Yeah,
they were
that was
love
pretty cool.
letters to this guy back and forth that this lady wrote to him, and I guess that he was married, and
he
you know,
was a big,
while it was
well-to-do guy.
while it was Christmas Day, she was, you know, waiting for him to show up because all these people were, you know, showing up in the house, and
Yeah.
then after he saw those letters and, you know, shared it with everybody, you know, everything calmed down because
She was leading him
she
to the
had
letters.
closure then, yeah.
She led him to the letters. It was pretty amazing. The guy that she had an affair with was some big famous, like nationally known businessman, not a big company.
Was this local?
No, this was some other state.
I forget. Yeah, I forget what
the name of
state
the
it is.
house.
Yeah, but it was pretty amazing, and you know, this guy was pretty, you know, prominent businessman, you know, well known, and for him to like leave his family and
That would be a big to do.
Oh, it would be. It would have been big. It would have been a scandal.
They're not gonna like do anything to us, are they?
No, because they are giving me respect, and I'm respecting
I really apologize for the sound on this show here.
Camp back here for Native Americans?
Mm-mm.
Well, then what are they?
They're spirits. They're just hanging there. This is their land. This was part of their land a long time ago. Okay. Now, when I was on your on your deck back there, that's who I was talking to. I was talking to them, and
Hey,
I was
Batgirl.
explaining to them what we would be doing tonight, and if they would give me respect, I would respect them back. That's why they're not in here. They know what it's all about.
This was a very populated Indian territory, Native American
Yes, it
territory.
was. Mm-hmm.
Lots of wars were fought here.
Mm-hmm. A lot of settlers.
A lot of lives lost.
Mm-hmm.
And they're right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
What do you say, Nikki?
I'm not sure. I'm not really feeling as much out here because
Thanks,
it's like
Kurt.
there's a lot more like space for the energy to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as sensitive to it.
Look closely behind Sean in the window, and behind the blinds, you can see what appears to be an apparition. If you notice, the blinds aren't down all the way, and below the blinds you don't see anything, but behind the blinds you see what appears to be an apparition walking past the window. We'll show it again in slow motion.
I'm not sure.
Oh my God, yeah, it is. Check that shit out. Wow. I hope everyone saw that. Let me do that again. Wow. I'm
For
sorry.
over 10 years, the Union well known.
What do you say?
I gotta
Nikki?
play that again, guys.
I'm not sure.
Look at that.
I'm not really
Did you
feeling as
see
much
that?
out here
Holy shit.
because it's like there's a lot more like space for the energy to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as sensitive to it.
Look closely behind Sean in the window, and behind the blinds you can see what appears to be an
Hi, Heidi.
apparition. If you notice, the blinds aren't down all the way, and below the
Watch
blinds
that
you don't
video.
see anything, but
Oh my
behind
God.
the blinds you see what appears to be an apparition walking past the window. We'll show it again in slow motion.
I'm not sure.
Is that crazy or what, guys? Yeah. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that right there, dudes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
For over 10 years, the
Everybody has, their own thing.
Professional skincare.
Saturday nights at 11 p.m. on iPittsburgh TV. Investigate the paranormal. Raw Fear.
I really like Raw Fear. It's been an awesome experience so far. When I first signed up for it, I'm a really big fan of B-side horror movies and older movies and stuff like that, ghost stories, Halloween. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but just like kind of taking the aspect of like this is real life, like this is actually happening. That's been really cool. It's interesting to see how the paranormal can reflect into everyday life.
Okay. What do you think your casting?
I think they're all really cool. We have a really good group. Everybody has their own thing going on, but we kind of play off of each other. So I think as a team we work together really well.
If you were to give a message to the people who are first watching the show and that are interested in paranormal work, what would you tell them?
Don't try this at home. For sure. That's one thing that I've learned from Sean. Like this is for real, and it's not anything that you want to mess with. Like it's not the cliche Ouija board seance thing that you see in the movies. This is real life, and there are certain energies out there that are good and bad, and you really don't want to upset the balance of your life. So definitely don't try this at home.
Okay. And what was your favorite place that you've been to so far?
So far I've liked them all, but I would say that the most intense for me was when we explored the building where PPS Productions is. It's the last remaining building at Dixmont, so there's a lot of residual energy here. There's a lot of like really intense emotion, just really crazy vibes, and that was my very first time investigating as well. So it was just a really intense experience for me, and definitely one that I'll never forget.
Struggle with cancer.
It did.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Dad, I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
You getting it?
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay.
You know I'm sorry. And you know that I love you. And that you know that I'm here, and I'm going to make you proud.
He knows that.
And that I'm sorry you had to go through with what you had to go through. I wish I could have changed it. But there was nothing that I could have done, Dad. There was nothing. And my heart went out to you that you went through all that, but I know that you're in a better place, you're happier than you were here on earth. And you are happier, you're happier.
That was me.
You jumped there.
That was me.
But I know, and I hope that you are happy, and I hope that you are in a better place, but I have a feeling you are. I miss you, and you know that was the hardest thing, was watching you go, but I know it was the greatest thing for you. Because as Kathy
This
said,
kid, Matt, is 19 years old.
you just gotta let him go in peace.
At the time.
Mr. Dugan, can you knock on the wall for us?
Hammer it.
They are, Kurt.
There you go.
Don't forget, Punisher's Paintball Supply, 500 Huntington Avenue, Emsworth, PA.
A creek that would normally flood in a crazy rainstorm, and my dad and I would take care of it. Well, more so my dad, and I'd come out and kind of help him. But one time the waters went so high, they got up to here. It was my fault because I didn't do what I was told. Well, actually, I was being stupid on purpose, I admitted. And I clogged the drain. You know, I was 10. I was a bad boy. And I flooded this whole thing, and the water, like, literally rose up to here. And, yeah, I got in there with my boots and yanked it out. Flood water's pretty high. I caused the flood. Not the Noah's Ark flood. But the flood.
He was something else, man. He's a
Actually,
good
this
dude.
tree over here, if y'all don't mind, coming over here. This tree is one of the oldest trees around. It dates back to about 200 years. I don't know if there's anything out here. But
This
tree
like
was-
won't even focus.
Huh?
Let me see that. No, it won't. Move in closer on him.
Hey, Mr. Idaho. Good to see you, buddy.
That means he's not in focus. Watch that crip.
Yeah.
Got it better?
No.
Here, you want to come over to the other side?
What the hell is that?
That's weird.
Look at that. No, that's the light off the
Are
porch.
you recording it?
There's no reason that that wouldn't focus though.
No, there shouldn't be. No,
Is there somebody here with me?
there's somebody there. Get the energy on that.
Yeah, that's really weird.
1, 2. That's Matt. Move, Matt. Move in closer toward the camera, dude. That's crazy. Stay right there.
There's no reason that it shouldn't focus.
Stay
It was
right there.
focusing before.
Okay. All right.
There it is.
There it is right now, because he came closer.
But he was standing there for like at least a few seconds.
Easily.
And now it's focused on him. That's so weird.
There's like an energy right here.
And that is a full moon.
That's so
right
strange.
there.
Check this out. Yeah.
Sean, you can't say that on camera.
Look at that mist. Look at the mist right underneath. Look at that mist right there.
Is that cool, guys, or what? That was cool.
There you go. That lit off.
Did it go off?
Yeah, it did.
Tammy and Company Salon. Professional.
There's another missed picture. Check it out there.
Is there?
Yeah. Over there by the steps. Bring it in.
By the what?
By the steps. See? Look.
Oh my god.
See it, man?
Yeah, wow. That's weird.
This was my dad's area, and hope to God there's no raccoons that are going to come out here and bite me in the ass. So, yeah. Let's do this, baby. Ready? 1, 2.
Damn raccoon comes out, I'm beating your ass.
My ass has already been beaten.
Ooh, scary lawnmower.
Oh, God, I got a chill.
Really?
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's come down to the fire pit, shall we? This is where...
Wow.
What? Ooh, what did we find? On the top of the line.
Yeah, it's a lot colder over here.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at this, guys. This is no shit. This is the mist. That was the spirit, man.
Moon and dust and ghosts and spirits.
That is freaky.
Yeah.
That even looks like an
I bet
outline.
you can see the outline of a person.
Yeah.
Here, Sean, hold it up to the camera. Wow.
Was that crazy?
That is crazy. You just took that now.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty freaky.
Well, what did you plant?
Well, I didn't plan anything.
Oh, it's so cold.
Oh my gosh.
Is there like a lot of energy?
We keep getting pictures of mist.
Yeah, a lot of missed pictures. Some bitch.
Just turn them off too, that's weird.
No, I did that.
Oh.
Look at this one, Matt. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, I'm getting a workout tonight.
There you are.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's probably my dad saying.
Looks like somebody's smoking a cigarette. Like, it's real thick.
I'm not smoking.
Probably
I
my
know.
dad.
It's like real dense.
It's probably like, quit acting like an ass. Alright, so my hermit crabs are buried down in here, so if you get any misty pictures that look like a crab, yeah. It's an old tree, swamp tree kind of, but if you see the moon, look how creepy that is, through the vines.
Because he's taking care of you guys out there, too.
How?
Just watching over you. Like I told you before, buddy. The shell's not here, but the spirit is.
Thank you, Dad.
It's that, and you're going to be fine. He's fine. No need to be sad.
No more sorrow, no more pain.
Exactly.
Remember, the Pastor Justin Summer came out on that Friday and told me to read the Psalm 23 to him. And I did it. And after an hour after that, he died.
Mm-hmm.
Though he may walk through the valley of the shadow of death, he's still alive out there. His spirit is.
Of course he is, man.
It's just a lifeless body, but a life-filled spirit.
There you go.
Lifeless body, life-filled spirit.
He's in the ground, right?
His body is.
Huh?
His body is.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is bones. That's all it is bones. His spirit is here with you, with your mom, with your sister.
I don't know if anybody else has a spiritual presence right now. And the feeling of presence. Anybody else? Or is it just me that's feeling that?
I feel it too.
Something's like
Hey, Brian.
Like a good presence.
Like the mood lightened a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Like a heart.
If you actually look at the light, the room got brighter.
Couple goosebumps over here. Not because I'm cold.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had a good heart. He was a caring man, so.
All right, brother.
Well, I appreciate all of you coming out.
Well, we can help you out, bro.
I'm grateful for all of you, for your service and kind being, and
We're your friend. That's what friends do.
That's what friends are for.
Exactly. Even if we weren't doing this for a film show, we'd still come out and do it for you. Well, tonight at Matt's house, at this investigation we had, I do believe that Matt got a lot of closure, understanding and realizing.
And I'm not drunk or high, guys.
Present in the house, and that he is there to watch over him and his mother. The crew did pretty good tonight, even though it was a little rainy, a little chilly outside where we had to film a lot. But in the long run, Matt did get his answers, and for that, I'm grateful.
I'm a laborer at a bulk mail facility. In my spare time, I like to shop or go to the movies, maybe see a comedy or something. I really enjoy UFOs, and I'm into snakes. I'm into guns, and also ghosts.
Hey, hi, I'm Megan. I'm going to school right now for psychology, hopefully to get my master's in child life specialist. Outside of here, I like to hang out with my family and friends, and I like to go shopping and go out occasionally.
Well, my name is Chloe J, and I am a receptionist most of the time, like 9 to 5, but mainly I work in event planning and DJ booking. I love electronic dance music. It's my passion. But I model in my pastime, and I act here and there. Not too much, though.
That's a good question. What draws me to the ghost world is that the experiences I've had in the past. I will say back in 1983, I had a near-death experience. And when I came through, I started to see things that were there that weren't there. I started to hear voices where people weren't talking, and it kind of caught my interest on what was going on. And as time rolled on, I got into the metaphysical world, and I learned how to meditate, and I worked with a couple teachers that brought me closer to the spirit world. And now, today, what I do is help a lot of people understand and realize that ghosts do exist. And I'm here to help them out. And that's what I'm all about. Ghosts do exist. Marty Patterson, please, come on in.
This is the equipment we used back in 2012.
How you doing? Well, of course, it's the theories behind all its theory as far as the equipment goes. So what we're pretty much gathering with our evidence with is the electromagnetic field testers and so forth. We use the K2 meter, the MEL meter, and one of my old standard favorite, is the Tri-Field meter, which we just recently acquired this, and thanks to Fred Turling out there, we acquired the Tri-Field meter. So first of all, and then we have the ePod. This is fairly new, right, Sean?
Yes, it is.
It's a fairly new device, and they all pretty much measure the electrostatic disturbances. It is theorized that when there is a paranormal event, the electromagnetic fields in the air get knocked out of whack, so to speak. So these devices, they measure that. They measure it also measure your microwave. If your microwave is leaking, or an old tube TV, it gives off some waves and radio waves and so forth. But the first one I'm going to talk about here is the K2 meter. The K2 meter is used by a lot of people. It's like the favorite, the standard. You turn that on. I don't know if you can see those lights lighting up. We are in our studio in the Camerata building, which we've done a lot of research here and have had a lot of good responses with these meters. But the K2, it measures in milligauss, and a lot of times, when you're doing a session, a K2 session, so to speak, you may ask questions, and the more intense the paranormal event gets, you ask, like, are you a man? And this thing may jump. So maybe it's a man, so that's kind of like a little bit of an answer, an answer device, which all of them are kind of, you're measuring the fields. The next is we'll go with the MEL. The MEL meter was designed and created by Gary Galka, and his daughter Melissa was killed in a car accident, and he and his daughter had a very close connection. So he developed this to try to communicate with his daughter from beyond. He really felt that he was having experiences, I guess, with her, and designed the MEL meter for that reason. But it's also used in paranormal. It measures the EMFs. That's a pretty sensitive device, and let me see if I'll turn it on here. Are there batteries in it? It's not turning on. Oh, it's not turning on. I don't know if I'm turning.
You have to hold it in.
Oh, you have to hold it in. Okay, we'll hold it in one more time. It does work. Okay, and can you see that in there? Okay, it's got a like kind of a pinkish field to it, and it measures your it's pretty sensitive. It goes like 0.0 right now, and also it's measuring the temperature. It says it's 68.4 degrees Fahrenheit in here. Excuse me. And this is a pretty good meter. I did a session with one of these a while ago, and as I was doing my isolation, I was watching the numbers grow on this, intensify and go up and down. So that's the MEL meter. It's not turning off. Then the tri-field meter, which is an older device, but it's one of my favorites. That's the old standard. This is a pretty cool little mechanism here. You put on what's called sum, and you kind of zero it out a little bit. And this has a needle on it, and it's also motion sensitive. They say you can put these in a room to tell if you have an intruder, not only from the other side, but from our side of the world. So and it'll measure that. It measures EMFs. It'll also measure if there's an electrical storm, like lightning. It reacts to that. So the electromagnetic and electrostatic field disturbances, and so to speak, it will measure these. So these are the things we use. And then we go here to the E-Pod, and the E-Pod is a electrostatic. Measures the fields within a 12-foot radius. It has different colors. Let me turn it on here. You can see, I don't know if you can see the three colors. It's green, red, and blue. And I'm not sure myself, but it measures 3, 6, and 12 feet away. So the closer something gets. And I believe, I guess maybe green is the highest, because it's right towards the center there.
It's like the 12 foot. The green would be the 12.
Okay. Yeah, I think okay, green's 12 foot away?
Yeah, I do believe the red is
okay.
6 and the blue's 3.
We just got this, so we're learning it ourselves. So, but it's a neat little device. It's got an antenna on it, pulls up, and it measures the distance and intensity as it gets closer. So I hope that helps some people out there. And if you want to get involved, all these things are available on the internet, eBay. There's websites that sell this stuff. You can find a lot of this. The tri-field meter, I would suggest looking on eBay for one of these if you're looking for a tri-field. But the other ones, there's some websites that actually sell this gear. So search around, get the best deal like I do, and go from there.
Why do we use this equipment?
Why do we use this equipment? This is like verification. If somebody has a feeling, if you can, like Sean, he's our empath, so to speak, and he has a feeling, he senses something going on. If we walk over to Sean and he's saying, "Hey, I've got something right behind me," and I walk over to Sean and I turn this on and I walk up to him and all of a sudden this is going crazy, I would say that Sean's right. So it's a little cross verification as far as between the spiritual and the scientific world. This kind of connects the two together. So you never know.
Do you think it also helps our viewers out there when they watch the show?
Yeah, and I do think it helps the viewers. And now that the viewers know a little bit more about this stuff, so when you see lights flashing, we're getting some sort of activity. Getting back to, all this equipment, paranormal is still it's theory. So, we can't say dead on for sure. But still, it really is some compelling evidence as far as, what we're gathering and what we've seen and experienced. So we get physical contact, something, the hair standing up in your arm, that's physical contact in my book. I've been touched by stuff, pushed by stuff. Everybody says some sort of little physical contact. And when you're using one of these, devices, when you have some sort of physical contact, that kind of brings it all together. So, that's pretty much it. So I hope that helps everybody. And as you're watching, keep watching. And when some new devices come out there or we get new stuff, we're definitely going to introduce them on the show and show the stuff, how it works.
Yeah, I'm going to get to say one more last thing.
And here's Sean.
A lot of people come up to me and they ask me, do you see ghosts? I do see ghosts, but in a different way. I see energy, the form of a spirit. It's pure energy. It's like an white light, like coming out form of a body.
Next week on Raw Fear, we go to Uniontown, Pennsylvania, to a 124-year-old establishment.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It was a pretty long one. I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. I don't have too many of them left, but a lot of people have seen all the Raw Fear videos. So I think one day I am going to show our very first pilot edition. And so I don't know when that's going to be. We got some very good evidence. So, Sparky, thank you, buddy. I just can't help it. I'm so damn sexy. All right, Heidi, please do. It was something. It was a little emotional because it was Matt's house. He was part of the group, and it was about his father who passed away. And I think we did okay with it. But I want to thank everybody for helping watching it, and I'm just glad you guys got to see it. Don't forget, see, Elle will be on me co-hosting next Sunday on the Sunday show of Into the Night. So hopefully y'all could tune in. I do definitely have a show on Thursday. Thank you, Sparky. And I'm sicker than the dog. So on that note, children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way, especially during this time. And on that note, good night, everybody. Happy hunting. See you Tuesday night.